Pangolins. 8 different species of these fascinating creatures exist in the world. From the black-bellied, white-bellied, giant and Temminck's pangolins in the Africas, and the Indian, Philippine, Chinese and Sunda pangolins in Asia, many of these pangolins are, unfortunately, threatened or functionally extinct. As we take a look at what makes pangolins so special, we'll also begin to delve into some of the severe threats that pangolins face. And this is the pangolin's story. Even though they seem elusive, you may be surprised to find that they are much closer than you think. Although it is a rare sight, the Sunda pangolin, scientifically known as Manis javanica, makes its home right here in Singapore. Now, don't be fooled by its sleek, scaly appearance. Pangolins are not reptiles. They are actually mammals covered in a distinct coat of keratin scales. Somewhat resembling an anteater, pangolins have long snouts and tongues, which they use to seek out termites and ants. Its strong and powerful foreclaws help to break apart insect nests and mounds. The shy Sunda pangolin resides in various locations across Southeast Asia, from Thailand to Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, and of course Singapore. Catching a glimpse of one of these adorable mammals is an absolute treat. Their shy nature and nocturnal tendencies make them difficult to spot. Pangolins are extremely adept climbers. Their prehensile tail allows them to hook onto branches and hang from trees. Pangolins lumber around in a slow, almost human-like manner, balanced upon their 2 hind legs with forelegs raised. They also have a fascinating response to potential danger. A threatened pangolin reacts by curling up into a tight ball, protected in all directions by its own scales. This is a great defense strategy in the wild, even against ferocious lions. Curling up into an armored ball almost guarantees a pangolin's safety from its natural predators. But doing so, instead of fleeing, only makes it easier to be captured by humans. Indeed, a pangolin is no match for mankind. Pangolin populations are diminishing worldwide. One of the biggest threats that they face is illegal wildlife trade. With trafficking rates reaching an estimated whopping 200,000 per year, pangolins hold the title of the most trafficked mammal in the world, contributing to 1/5 of all illegal wildlife trade. Pangolins are harvested to be used in traditional Chinese medicine. Some believe that pangolin scales can heal many ailments and illnesses, even though the scales have no scientifically proven medicinal properties. In many areas, pangolins are also poached to be sold in bushmeat markets. Their meat is considered to be a delicacy. Increasingly, pangolins are running out of options. They have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Deforestation and urbanization have destroyed and degraded large swaths of viable habitat. Our native Sunda pangolins are not faring much better. While poaching is less of an issue, roadkill contributes significantly to pangolin fatalities in Singapore. These slow, plodding creatures are especially vulnerable to being struck by fast-moving vehicles. Pangolins can be stunned by the bright lights of an oncoming vehicle and instinctively curl into a ball. However, even this little ball of armor cannot withstand the impact of a car cruising along an expressway. As a result, local pangolin populations are at risk. Low birth rates of only 1 or 2 offspring a year, coupled with an increase in death rates due to human activity, pangolins may be unable to reproduce fast enough to recover their numbers. If the situation remains status quo, the outlook for our pangolins is grim. There may come a day where the only place to see a pangolin in Singapore is in the museum. Fortunately, Singapore has not been idle.
My name is Kalai. I'm the co-CEO of ACRES. My job mainly involves around being in charge of the wildlife rescue and rehab operations at ACRES.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charlene. So I'm a vet here in Wildlife Reserve Singapore, and I help to oversee native wildlife conservation and rescue admissions. The SPWG was formed in 2014. It's currently co-chaired by Dr. Sonia Lutz and myself, and basically it's a collaboration of a number of stakeholders involved in pangolin conservation in Singapore.
ACRES' work with pangolins revolves heavily around the rescue. A lot of these places where the pangolins are found as roadkill, they are usually expressways or certain roads that are cutting across nature reserves. Lately, especially in 2020, we have had quite a few roadkills. I know in the last 2 months we have already had about 4 roadkills, which is quite a scary statistic. So we had very unfortunate moments where the mother had died and the baby had survived, and it can be quite traumatic to see when the baby is still hugging on to the dead mother. So that was quite a sad moment as well. So we have encountered many such situations before.
And basically we're involved in a number of different activities such as rescue, rehab and release programs. If a rescued pangolin is picked up by NParks or ACRES, the pangolin comes to WRS for health assessment, treatment and rehabilitation, and then the release will be done in collaboration together with NParks. We are also involved in other activities such as research into healthcare, biology, ecology, including things like radio tracking or satellite tracking to learn more about the wild pangolin behaviors.
We also keep an eye on the illegal wildlife trade just in case there are cases of poaching or smuggling of scales as well.
And unfortunately, Singapore is not immune to this. 2019, there were 3 very large confiscations of pangolin scales that were confiscated in Singapore.
Various authorities need to be aware and vigilant to ensure that we do not become like a hub for the smuggling of wild animals. It's not just pangolin, it should be for any animal.
Now, you may be asking, what can I do? How can I play a role to conserve pangolins? Well, this is already a good start. By being interested and educating yourself about pangolins, you have already taken the first step. If you happen to come across a pangolin, remember to keep your distance and appreciate it from afar. Avoid pangolin-derived products or pangolin-based businesses. Staying alert to any red flags, such as listing of pangolin dishes or a rumor of illegal possession of a pet pangolin, and reporting them to ACRES or NParks is something that we all can and should do. Drive cautiously along roads abutting our nature reserves, such as the BKE, PIE, and Mandai. Stay within speed limits and keep an eye on the roads. The stakes are high. The very existence of pangolins is at risk. Luckily, you and I have the power to change the situation. We can all play a part in ensuring that these wonderful animals will continue to be here for generations to come.